Most people live their entire lives in a fog of comforting delusions. We are raised on fairy tales about unconditional love, eternal loyalty, and the inherent goodness of the human spirit. We are taught that if we are virtuous, if we give enough, if we sacrifice enough, we will be rewarded with loyalty in return. And then reality hits. The partner you supported through their darkest times leaves you the moment they find a better option on Instagram. The friend you loan money to stops replying to your texts. The colleague you mentored climbs over your back to get the promotion. You feel betrayed. You feel blindsided. You ask yourself, how could they do this? But in 1513, a man named Niccolò Machiavelli asked a different question. He didn't ask how could they. He asked, why did you expect anything else? Machiavelli didn't write for the masses. He wrote for those who wanted to rule, and his observations were so terrifyingly accurate that they were banned for centuries. He realized that the laws of power, fear, and desire don't just apply to kings and kingdoms, they apply to your living room, your bedroom, and your workplace today. We are not just revisiting his words, we are upgrading them. We are taking Machiavelli's brutal truths and applying them to the modern world of digital dating, infinite options, and disposable relationships. We are going to give you the tactical playbook that schools and parents were too afraid to teach you. This is not about becoming evil. It is about waking up. It is about transitioning from a naive player who gets used to a strategic master who commands respect. Let's start with the observation that got Machiavelli exiled. He looked at human nature without the filter of religion or morality and wrote this, for of men one can, in general, say this, they are ungrateful, fickle, deceptive, and deceiving, avoiders of danger, eager to gain. Pause. Look at your contact list. Look at your DMIS. Machiavelli argues that human beings are biologically wired for self-preservation and self-aggrandizement. In the modern era, we call this hypergamy or opportunism. But let's call it what it really is: biological transactionalism. In the ancestral environment, loyalty to a failing leader meant death. Therefore, humans evolved a mechanism to detach from sinking ships. This mechanism is still active in your girlfriend, your husband, your best friend. The 0-point thought experiment to understand this, you must perform a mental audit. I call this the 0-point test. Imagine tomorrow, a scandal destroys your reputation. Your bank accounts are frozen. Your car is repossessed. You develop a chronic illness that limits your energy. You can no longer pay for dinner. You can no longer provide status. You can no longer be the rock. Who stays? Do not answer with who should stay. Answer with who will stay. The reality is, 99% of your relationships are sustained by what you provide, not who you are. Your partner loves the lifestyle and security you provide. Your friends love the access and entertainment you offer. Your boss loves the profit you generate. This is the brutal truth number one. Affection is the shadow of benefit. When the object of benefit moves, the shadow of the affection moves with it. When the object disappears, the shadow vanishes. Most men spend their lives trying to buy the shadow, thinking it's real. The Machiavellian man focuses on the object. He focuses on his own value, his own power, and his own leverage. So, how do we navigate a world of opportunists without becoming bitter? We stop expecting love to do the heavy lifting of leverage. Machiavelli noted that relationships based purely on emotional bonds are unstable because emotions are volatile. Relationships based on necessity are stable because survival is constant. The modern trap, the nice guy contract. Many of you are operating under a covert contract. You believe, if I am nice to her, she will be loyal to me. If I do extra work, my boss will protect me. This is a lie. Machiavelli warned that men are less hesitant about offending one who makes himself loved than one who makes himself feared. Why? Because love or niceness is given freely. It creates no obligation. It implies you have no other options. In the modern dating market, niceness is abundant and cheap. Value is scarce. Actionable step: The value audit you need to stop being a nice guy and start being a high-value proposition. Here is your first practical assignment. 1. Identify the leverage. For every key relationship in your life, ask yourself, if I stopped initiating contact today, what concrete value would this person lose? If the answer is nothing but my pleasant company, you have zero leverage. You are disposable. If the answer is financial security, social status, emotional stability, or unique sexual satisfaction, you have leverage. 2. Shift the dynamic. Stop giving these benefits for free. In economics, when supply increases, value decreases. If you are always providing emotional support, validation, and resources without receiving anything in return, you are hyperinflating your own currency. You are making yourself worthless. 3. The pullback technique. Test your leverage. Withdraw a specific benefit you usually provide. E.g., stop sending the good morning text. Stop paying for every date. Stop solving their problems immediately. Reaction A. They panic and try to rear in your favor. Result: you have leverage. Reaction B. They get angry or disappear. Result: the relationship was parasitic. You have been freed. Machiavelli teaches us that you cannot negotiate genuine desire. You can only negotiate the conditions of the exchange. If you are not bringing unique value to the table, no amount of communication or therapy will save you from being replaced by someone who does. Machiavelli observed a fatal flaw in leaders who were too good. He noted that princes who were always accessible, always generous, and always present were eventually despised. Why? Because familiarity breeds contempt, and availability kills value. In the modern world, your availability is your attention. It is your time. It is your blue bubble on a message. Most men make the mistake of becoming an open resource. You reply instantly. You are always free to hang out. You drop your hobbies to accommodate her schedule. You think this shows devotion. Machiavelli would tell you it shows desperation. The economics of desire, basic economics dictates that when supply exceeds demand, the price crashes. If your attention is unlimited, its value is zero. Women and people in general are biologically wired to chase what is retreating, not what is stationary. They value the prize they have to win, not the participation trophy handed to them at the door. Machiavelli advised princes to be rare and unpredictable, to keep the people guessing, to create a vacuum that others must fill. Actionable step: the digital vacuum protocol. You must re-engineer your digital presence to manufacture scarcity. 1. The 2/3 rule of communication. Never give 100% of the communication energy. Aim to contribute about 2/3 of what you receive. If she writes a paragraph, you write a sentence. If she calls 3 times, you answer once. This forces the other party to invest more energy to close the gap. Investment creates attachment. 2. Unpredictable reinforcement. Do not be consistent. Consistency is boring. Sometimes you reply in 5 minutes. Sometimes you reply in 5 hours. Sometimes you are warm. Sometimes you are distant. This mimics the psychology of a slot machine. Intermittent reinforcement, which is the most addictive form of psychological conditioning known to man. 3. The busy default. Never accept a last-minute plan unless it creates high value for you. If someone asks, "Are you free tonight?" your default answer is, "I have plans, but I might be free later in the week." Even if your plan is just reading a book or going to the gym, you must demonstrate that your time is property, not a public utility. This brings us to Machiavelli's most famous and controversial maxim: it is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Before you recoil, let's translate this into 21st century relationship dynamics. Fear does not mean physical terror or abuse. In the context of attraction and loyalty, fear means respect. Specifically, it means the fear of losing you. Machiavelli argues that love is held together by a chain of obligation, which is easily broken when self-interest dictates. But fear is held together by the dread of punishment or consequences, which never fails. The nice guy paradox. The reason nice guys finish last is that they have no teeth. They have no capacity for danger. A woman knows that no matter how badly she treats the nice guy, he will still be there. He is safe, and safe is the opposite of sexy. To command loyalty, you must be capable of being dangerous. Not physically violent, but dangerously independent. Actionable step, the nuclear option, the walk-away leverage. You cannot negotiate boundaries if you are not willing to enforce them. A boundary without a consequence is just a suggestion. 1. Define the red line. Identify one behavior you are currently tolerating that disrespects you, e.g., flaking on dates, disrespecting you in public, talking to exes. 2. The warning shot. Calmly communicate the boundary. Do not get angry. Do not yell. Anger shows you are emotionally affected. Indifference shows you are in control. Say, I don't tolerate behavior. If it happens again, I will reevaluate our relationship. 3. Execute the consequence. This is where 99% of men fail. If the behavior repeats, you must execute the consequence immediately. You withdraw attention. You end the date. You walk away. The Machiavellian shift. When you withdraw your presence because of disrespect, you flip the dynamic. You are no longer the one seeking validation. You are the one granting it. Machiavelli warned us about imagined republics, idealized versions of how the world should be. We are raised on Disney movies and romance novels that tell us, just love them unconditionally, and they will love you back. Machiavelli says, a man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must necessarily come to grief among so many who are not good. If you play by the rules of unconditional love and a game of biological transactionalism, you will be eaten alive. You will be the one doing all the giving, and they will be doing all the taking. This creates a parasitic dynamic, and parasites do not respect their hosts. They drain them until they are dry, and then they move on. To survive, you must kill the white knight inside you. You must become selective. You reserve your loyalty only for those who have proven theirs through action, not words. You do not give to receive. You give only to those who have given. Before you judge the world for its transactional nature, Machiavelli demands that you look in the mirror. You are not a martyr. You are not a saint. You are also self-interested. You are with your partner, your friends, and your job because they provide you with something. If your partner stopped being attractive, stopped supporting you, or became a burden, how long would you honestly stay? If your job stopped paying you, would you keep showing up out of loyalty? We judge others for their transactional nature. While excusing our own, we call our own needs standards. But we call their needs greed. The liberation of acceptance. Here is the paradox. Accepting that everyone, including you, operates from self-interest is not depressing. It is liberating. It frees you from the role of the victim. You stop being shocked when people act according to their nature. You stop expecting others to sacrifice their happiness for yours. You stop asking, why did she leave? And start asking, did I stop providing value? This understanding creates emotional autonomy. You realize that you cannot control others' loyalty, but you can control your own leverage. Actionable step. The emotional firewall to survive in a Machiavellian world. You must train yourself to detach. This is the Stoic application of Power. 1. The observer mode. When you feel a strong emotion, jealousy, fear of loss, anger, do not act, freeze. Imagine you are a third person watching a movie of your life. Ask, is this emotion helping me, or is it handing over my power? To never reveal your full hand. Machiavelli advised princes never to let their true intentions be fully known. In relationships, never let someone know they are your only source of happiness, even if they are. You must maintain the appearance of independence. Do not say, I can't live without you. This signals weakness, dependence. Do say, I choose you because you add value to my life. This signals strength, choice. Machiavelli didn't say you can't have love. He said you can't build a foundation on it. The person who understands human nature can create relationships that last because they are based on sustainable mutual benefit, not romantic fantasies that collapse under pressure. You can still care deeply. You can still be generous, but you do it with your eyes wide open. You give to those who invest in you. You withdraw from those who drain you. You become the CEO of your own life, hiring and firing based on performance, not potential. The choice you have to options today. 1. The blue pill. Go back to sleep. Continue believing that people operate from noble motives. Keep getting blindsided by betrayal. Keep wondering why your niceness isn't being rewarded. 2. The red pill. Accept Machiavelli's brutal truth. Accept that loyalty is conditional. Accept that relationships are exchanges. And use this knowledge to build yourself into a man of such high value that leaving you becomes an act of self-destruct for anyone else. Machiavelli died broke and exiled, yet his mind conquered the world for 500 years. Why? Because he respected reality more than idealism. The princes who understood human nature built empires that lasted centuries. The princes who believed in noble sentiments got overthrown and forgotten in your life. Understanding these principles is the difference between being used and being respected, between being abandoned and being valued, between a naive victim and a strategic king. Welcome to reality. It is less comfortable than the fairy tale, but it is the only place where real success is possible. If you are ready to stop being a spectator in your own life and start mastering the dynamics of power and psychology, you know what to do. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and in the comments below, answer this one question honestly. If you lost everything today, who is the one person who would actually stay? I'll see you in the comments.